Well, that all the people here, all the residents here have very interesting stories to tell, and I'd like to hear about it someday. But I won't tell you my story right now. But you know, I would like to tell you about my very first recollection. I was about maybe 3 or 4 years old, and I was standing next to my mother, and she was old herself, we must have been going somewhere, and she was carrying my baby sister in her arms. And my little sister lifted her foot, kicked me right in the mouth, and I thought she'd done it on purpose. I tried to grab her, hit her, and my mother's holding me back by my hair and laughing her head off. So, a lot of water under the bridge since then. And some of that water's been pretty muddy, and a lot of it's been crystal clear. Now, for a little bit of levity. Now, in polite circles, sex is never mentioned. But you all know that you weren't hatched from an egg, that's for sure. So, you see on television, you see the advertisements say, be ready when the occasion arises. But nothing's arising, so I asked the doctor if Viagra right for me. He says, for you, I advise milk of magnesia and prune juice. Well, I had to give up my prescription to Playboy because I kept fantasizing about how those girls would look with their clothes on. I think maybe I ought to tell you a little nasty joke. This gentleman had a urinating problem. The doctor gave him a whole bottle of Flomax. He says, take one at a time. They're very, very powerful. But he was impatient, so he took the whole damn bottle. And you know what? He won the Nobel Peace Prize. I got another little joke that's appropriate for this occasion here. This elderly gentleman, he belonged to this club all his life. He was a very active member, and he wanted to retire. So the membership thought, well, we should do something real nice for him. So they decided, one of the wealthy members of the club says, I'll give him $1 million if you don't tell him where it came from. So, but the membership thought that was a very fine gesture, but there was a problem. This man had had 4 heart attacks, and they felt that a piece of news like that would push him over the edge. So they decided, well, we'll have the doctor break the news to him. So the doctor says, now tell me, what would you do if somebody gave you $1 million? He said, I know exactly what I'd do with the doctor. You nursed me through 4 heart attacks. I would give you half of it. The doctor dropped dead. Well, that's enough levity.
Oh, you got one more in you.
Now, I moved here I moved to Ashton Place about 1.5 years ago, after 40 years in Florida. And I moved up here especially so that Janie could haul me around and have a lot of fun. And I met a lot of nice people here, very nice people, very nice friends. And there's a handful of my old customers here from the restaurant from 50, 60 years ago. And I've got a lot of help here. I got a bartender there, Val. Danny's a bartender. Henny is a waitress. I could open up a restaurant here with all the help I got. Now, you know, in Florida, I was in 3 facilities such as this, all beautiful places. I was in Fort Lauderdale at the Willowwood, a very fabulous place. I moved there. I moved away because they assessed the members $750 for roof repair, and I refused to pay it. So I left along with a lot of other residents. And I moved to Ashton Gardens, which is a very beautiful place. But I left there to save maybe $300 a week, or rather a month. And I moved to Horizon Court in Deerfield Beach, a fabulous place. About 50 acres of lush gardening, 3 5-story buildings and 2 2-story buildings, and all connected with enclosed walkways, a beautiful spot. But all those places in Florida lacked what we have here at Ashton Place in abundance, and that's homey feeling, and a lot of friends. Mm-hmm. And a beautiful staff. The beautiful staff we've got here, starting with Amy.
Don't
And
forget
Megan.
me, Larry. Don't forget Connie.
I'm coming to that. Give me time. Don't rush the old man here. So, Megan and her faithful staff, Connie, Susie and her marketing staff, Joe, Gail, and Lulu in the dining room, Jesse in the kitchen and his helpers, and Charlie, and Mel, and Gary, and who else? Oh, those fabulous high school kids that serve our dinner every night. They're all fabulous. So in lieu of a tip, let's give them a big hand. And now, those of us we're going to spend the rest of our days here at Ashton Place, I can assure you that you're in the right place. And to Amy and Mary Jane, who organized such party. I am very grateful and humbled. And thank you all for coming, and I hope you had as much fun as I've had.